Cuban Kim, everybody! Yeah!
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Howdy, you hooligans. Welcome or welcome back to ENG SUB, a video diary of my comedy journey, musical musings, and life lessons learned the hard way so you don't have to. I'm 32 and decided to go after my dream of becoming a stand-up comedian, which may or may not be the worst career decision of my life. So, subscribe and enjoy the shit show. It's a bit bittersweet. Right now, I'm living on our family farm, an hour outside of Houston, with 80 chickens, 2 beautiful dogs, and a couple of goats. But I'm leaving this heaven to move to Austin, which is the comedy capital of the world right now, to chase that dream. My dad says don't chase your dream. Dreams don't make dollars, but I'm a Southern Korean. I'm a bit of a rebel. Fun fact, if you're gonna be a comedian, you're gonna have to write some jokes. And for me, I've always been the class clown, even a decade after graduation. But sitting down to write jokes is a completely different beast. I spent the last couple of weeks reflecting on my life and thinking of what's funny, and then writing it out as jokes and then revising it. On the bright side, I do have a lot of funny material from experiences in my life, such as growing up as a Southern Korean, living all over the US, my hilarious mental health issues, and my doctor dad doing adult circumcisions. On a side note, if you're uncut and would like to change that, please visit houstonscircumcision.com so we can talk man to man. By the way, whoever said weed isn't addictive, well, that's a damn lie, because everyone knows a pothead. I even tried drowning my Benjamin to turn over a new leaf, but old habits die hard. This is me petting my dog Boris for good luck before the open mic. He's about 14 years old and the chillest pup you'll ever meet. And forgive me guys, I'm a complete YouTube noob, so the video didn't record audio, but this is me sitting outside talking about how nervous I am and how I'm trying to get just one laugh.
How are we doing, guys? Are we still alive? Happy to represent the Asian Confederation. I was sent here to protect these two gentlemen over here. If any shit goes down, just stay close, all right? Let's stick together. I'm a Korean trans man. I'm a transformer, so I used to be a yellow Kia Soul in the parking lot, and then I morphed into a Korean comedian, a yellow comedian. No, I'm joking. I'm actually trans-Pacific, so I used to be a South Korean boy, and then I graduated into a Southern Korean man. My pronouns are yellow and yeller. Yeah, and you know, I get 2 questions when people figure out I'm South Korean. The first one is, are you North Korean or South Korean? Of course, I want to ask them, are you dumb or retarded? And of course, I just end with, are you retarded?
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to my first open mic. I'm not sure if it was a complete bomb, probably more of a hand grenade type of situation, because I did get a good amount of laughs. Kind of give you a little bit of a backstory. I went to this bar. This was around 45 minutes away from my house, and it was around 30 to 35 minutes late, so the list had been out for at least 30 to 35 minutes. And for that reason, I was around the 24th comic to do his open mic. So 2 hours and 15 minutes until I got to do my 5-minute set. And not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous because the procession of comics that were going up was just leading to more and more bombs as people just kept leaving and leaving the venue. So by the time that I got on stage, it was around 10, 12 people in the venue. Everyone had gotten sick of people getting up on stage and trying to tell jokes. That actually led to a lot of the amping of the anxiety. I was like, oh my gosh, like no one's laughing anymore. But my goal was just try to get one laugh, because I know with things that I've tried in the past, you have to give yourself permission to suck, right? With with anything, if you're trying to get good at anything, especially in the first stages, don't be too hard on yourself. There's no one that's hard on you but yourself when you're trying to do something like this. And with that mindset, I went up there, had some butterflies as I was grabbing the mic, but once I actually started speaking, it became a lot easier. And I would say I would give myself a 3.5 stars out of 5. I'm adding the 0.5 because it was my first time, so a little bit of a handicap there. I think the part where things started trailing off was towards the middle of the set. That's when some of the anxiety around, what am I going to say next? What's the detail in the joke that I forgot, right? Because the part that I cut off in the video, that's where it's like, the second question that people ask me when I tell them I'm Korean, they always ask me, what's the difference between North and South Korea? But then I end up going on to another whole tangent about North Korea, so people are probably expecting, what's the second question? But that joke also did pretty well. I think I do have to give myself credit for just getting up there and then kind of forcing through the situation where it's like, oh shoot, what do I say next? And just being able to kind of steamroll through it to another point, and it doesn't become apparent that I've forgotten something. And I wanted to give myself some personal feedback, and I'm curious to know what you guys think as well, especially some experienced comics out there that can guide me or give me some advice on what to do. But I think to start with a pro, I think I have a good voice. It's easy for people to understand, and that's some feedback that I've gotten throughout my whole life in terms of being able to communicate, being able to have a deeper resonant voice that's articulate. That's something that, I would say is a gift. I didn't do anything to earn that, but I think in terms of comedy, I think that lends itself really well, because a lot of times, if you have a speech impediment or some limitations in your voice, that can be very nerve-wracking. And the point is to get people to pick up what you're putting down, right? But if you can't communicate what you're putting down, then it becomes exponentially harder. But I think for me, I have that, at least a voice of being able to present things, and also some vocal range to be able to communicate effectively. The things that could have been a bit better, I think it was tied in with the nervousness, like I spoke on before. I did get nervous getting up on stage, and I did get nervous at a certain point in the middle of it where I realized oh my gosh, I forgot something. And instead of focusing my energy and attention on telling the current joke as best as possible, my mind kind of went back to oh shoot, what was that part that you forgot? And then I thought it would kind of be this domino effect of, oh dang, you forgot that part of the joke, so now this joke's not going to work. But what I realized, this is the first time, and you're going to forget words and forget, additional tags. With an art form such as comedy, things aren't going to go according to plan, especially with the audience. But if you're able to know your material well and know the specific words that you want to use, for example, in the second part of the transitioning joke, right, where I say I transitioned from a South Korean boy to a Southern Korean man, I use the word graduated in that set, but it doesn't make any sense, right? It's completely different context. So if I want to keep it as oh, I'm transitioning, then it would make a lot more sense to say I transitioned instead of I graduated. When you're nervous, you pick the wrong words, but as I build more stage time, as I build my jokes and rehearse it more, I think that aspect's gonna get a lot better. What the hell am I doing with my hands? I really don't know. It seems like yeah, just holding the mic like this and then just going like this, and this. I think I could be a little bit more intentional with how I use my body to communicate. We all know nonverbal communication is just as important, if not more important, than actual, vocal communication. So that's one thing that I do want to focus on, and that's why I think recording it will be super helpful, because it allows me to see myself as others see myself. Right? Just looking back at the tape and just being like, what are you doing, dude? I think that's something that I do want to get better at. And if you see the really great comedians, they do that really, really well, whether it's just moving to a side to tell the punchline, or dropping the mic and letting it hit their leg to show that this is a time when the audience should laugh, right? Finally, this would be more of a goal to achieve, but engaging with the audience better, make it feel more conversational. The vibe that I get from my open mic is, there's funny stuff in there, but it's just a guy telling jokes on a stage, which is what I'm doing. If you look at the great comedians, it feels as if they're telling jokes not to get you to laugh, but because they want to express who they are and get others to want to get to know them better, right? Think of a dad joke, right? Anyone can tell a dad joke, and it's probably funny. I love dad jokes, but it's not very memorable, at least for me. But if a person, they share their life experience or their unique perspective on the world, and it makes them laugh, and it's only them that can make them laugh in that way. For example, I love Patrice O'Neill, R.I.P. Patrice. It didn't even seem as if he was like writing out these jokes. He's just having a one-on-one conversation with a crowd of people and sharing his own unique cadence, unique voice, unique perspectives in a world that, people listen to, and it's like, oh, that's definitely a Patrice joke. And that's a goal that I want to set myself to. Right now, I'm just I'm just gathering the courage to do my next one, right? But in the future, when I'm able to get more stage time and more opportunities for comedy, being able to talk about the things that I want to talk about in my own unique way that gets people to pay attention and get to like me, right? I think that's the cool thing about comedy that I'm experiencing is you're just putting yourself out there on stage, but comedy has that extra added layer of you can't hide when you're on stage. You can't hide behind a business presentation. With comedy, it's like, hey, I think I'm funny and I think I got some jokes that'll make you laugh. But I think the extra version, or the high achiever version, is I'm gonna just be me on stage and I hope you laugh. Either way, I don't care, right? That's the ultimate level of confidence, right? I don't care if you like me or not, but you're gonna like me. With that in mind, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm very grateful that you're here and being able to see me take the first step on one of my dreams. And I'd love to hear what your dreams are for 2025 and in the future, because with the amount of possibilities and opportunities in the world right now, that's the reason why I'm doing this. This is also uncomfortable for me. I can't even see you right now. I'm just talking to my camera. But it's really cool that we live in an age where we're so connected, that in terms of being able to help each other grow, help each other support people's passions, and I hope to build a tribe of people like that one day. So thank you, and see you soon.